Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
The formula to get 99 percentile score is here. Enroll now. The link is in the description and in comments. See you there.
Before joining IIT Patna, I was more of an introvert. I was not very comfortable talking with people, interacting with, working in teams and all. But once I pushed myself, once I joined IIT Patna, I tried to be part of more and more extracurricular activities. And at the same time, I held positions of responsibilities, like I was a literary coordinator of the literary committee. This gave me an exposure and it created an evolution in my personality as well. So yeah, that helped me even right now. As I go further, more and more I'm opening up. Even here in IIM Kozhikode, I have been elected to the Students' Council now. So yeah, that has helped quite a lot. Coming to why civil services in particular, there were two main reasons to it. The first reason was that I had always wanted to be in a social change or somewhere in that social change domain where I would be able to drive impact, create impact for others. And going into an NGO or working for an NGO is not that practical option for someone who comes from a middle class family and he needs to financially support the family. And IAS gives you the best of both worlds. You have a fixed salary coming in at the end of your month, you have a secure job. At the same time, you can work for the society. At the same time, there are some downsides to it, like there's some political realities that you need to handle, and then yeah, we have the evil of corruption that you need to somehow manage. And there are very successful like IAS officers who have done transformative changes for our country. Even people from who have done with their MBAs and they were working in very high profile investment banking and such roles have left their jobs to prepare for civil services. So I see this as a very good career opportunity, and that's why I decided to go for it. This was a very crucial and a very turning point in my life because I gave my mains, like the UPSC mains, in September, around September end. And at that time, I was not sure whether I should fill a form for CAT. Most people do that as a backup option. I was not sure, but friends were doing it, so I had just filled in my CAT form, okay, in case, let's see, as a backup. When the CAT exam was due in November, and our results for mains were due in December. And as per me, I had done fairly well in my mains, and so I was at least expecting an interview call. At this time, it was very crucial to decide whether I should focus on CAT and give CAT seriously, or should I depend on my optimism about my results and ignore CAT. I know a lot of people are in this situation when they are in that point of time, and my advice would be don't think a lot about the future. Rather, if you have that opportunity to give CAT, you have that somewhere around 75 days with you, utilize it completely and do focus on your CAT, because that's what helped me. I know that there is a lot of drain. You are already drained, heavily preparing for mains, and you just don't want to do anything for at least a month. But still somehow you need to refocus and realign your strategy to CAT. But having said that, what happened again with me was, come December, I gave my CAT in November and I was pretty sure that I had not done so well in my CAT, like I had screwed it up. So I was quite sure that CAT to hone nahi wali hai, agle saal hi dena hoga. So when December mains results came out, it was like na ye ho paya, because I was not selected. So I was completely disheartened at that time, and then I started evaluating whether I should go for a second attempt. So first reaction was denial basically, that कुछ तो maybe it's the luck factor, or maybe कुछ तो उनके तरफ से गलत हुआ होगा, kind of thing. So maybe I'm not responsible for it. It's just something bad that has happened to me. But then I realized that yes, there were gaps in my preparation for my civil services preparation as well. But it was a kind of a trade-off that I had to make. Should I give 1.5 years? Because if you are going to forecast it, you need to consider the whole 1.5 years till the final interviews. So should I put in this effort given the level of uncertainty that is there with UPSC, or should I go back to work again, and should I do a parallel preparation? So that was the considerations that I was making. I was not thinking about CAT at all during that time. Then January first week, I was still in that decision making phase. What should I do? I was talking with seniors from my UPSC background, seniors from my college, that what will work better for me. CAT results came out and apparently I had a very nice percentile. But then I had never rechecked I did not even open my paper and did any sort of checking, because I was kind of sure that I haven't done that well. So, but the percentile was very good, and I got calls from IIM Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode, and other like the newer IIMs. So then I was happy. Then I got a new path. Like, yeah, now I have a third option open for me. But still, I deliberated a lot whether I should go for MBA now, because somewhere that factor was there that if I have done it randomly and I'm getting such a score, what if I plan for a whole year and prepare for like deliberately, and what if I get ABC? Because I had seniors from my college who were in ABC. So that was again one more decision that I had to make. Should I go with this percentile or should I wait for one more year? Again, I was taking help. At that time I started contacting some coaching institutes for MBA. There I met some seniors, alumni from MBA colleges. Even I took their advice as to what should I do, should I wait one more year? Again, here there was a trade-off, like should you just go with it because even Kozhikode is a good institution, or should you wait for ABC because obviously they are better. But then, taking all my options into consideration, pragmatically I decided that let's not waste one more year. Judged that even Kozhikode had best of the world opportunities here, so I decided to go along with Kozhikode. This was the lynching pin, I would say, that whether I was thinking of working in a social role, social impact, where I can be the driver of social change. And over here, this is another corporate field where you get a lot to do for your company, where you can drive profits, you can drive change for your customers, but not so much on a national or a social level. So this was a very big decision. This was the lynching pin, I would say. So somewhere, I would be honest with you, there were family pressures, there were like economic considerations that what if I am not able to make it there. Then there was a gap on the CV, almost 3 years gap on the CV, which was staring at me. Even justifying a 1.5 year gap was very difficult during the interviews of IIMs. So there was that factor. So all these factors came into consideration, and what I thought was that since my two reasons were, first was it would be a diverse administrative role. So even in corporate, if I get to work in a general management role, it will be a similar role. And the second consideration was that I needed to have some social impact. So I thought if I get ahead in corporate, at some point in time I will always be involved in CSR as one of the factors. And secondly, I can always try to create or be involved in an entity, some NGO activities. And I have seen that many corporate leaders are they are a trustee of some NGO, or they have their founding, like they have founded their own NGOs. So you can always do that even while working. So it was not an either or condition really. And there were a bit of family, personal reasons as well. So that's what went into making this decision. Well, again, to be honest, yes, there is a degree of advantage in the sense not just IITians, but whoever has a bit of a quantitative aptitude. So it could be engineers in general or even the commerce graduates. So they do have an edge in the sense that LRDI section or the Quant section is more inclined towards quantitative abilities. Having said that, again, it's all about practice. So actually my Quant score sadly is lesser than my verbal score. That was because I was totally out of touch with the mathematical formulas and the whole thought process. Like one needs to be in practice to quickly solve that in the limited time. So I was not in that, I was more involved in the humanities and how to express myself during civil services preparation. So that's why the quantitative part, there might be an edge, but it's all a matter of practice. I could not score that well, though I was an IITian. If I had practiced more, if I had that leverage, that time to do it, I would have done much better. So it's more about practice. If anyone, and I have seen friends in Kozhikode who are from an arts background, but they have very nice Quant scores. So it's all about how hard you practice, how consistently and with a smartly, like with a plan. What are you going to target? What are you going to leave? And how are you going to cover those questions in that much given time? So I think it's more of a matter of strategy. It will be very interesting to tell about my interview experiences because they were very diverse, And secondly, I haven't seen many civil service perspective coming from that background perspective while I was preparing for my interviews for my PIs. So that might help a lot of students. The first thing was, my first was Lucknow interview, which are generally very stress interviews. And it was always mentioned that you should prepare with your academics. I knew that, and I did skim through my basic computer science theory, but I did not delve deep into it because I was expecting more of public policy, current affairs questions. But what happened was, when I went in there, the first thing they asked was, they started with my computer science questions, knapsack problem. It has been 3 years since I have even opened my algorithms book and went to each and every algorithm. So I knew something like it's got to do with dynamic programming, but I was not sure. So I told that. And this happened continuously for around 4 to 5 questions. Like every question I was like, sorry, it has been a long time, sorry, it has been a long time. I did try, but again I was not to the point, so it was not working well. Then I kind of shifted the interview towards public policy, but yeah, so brush up on your academics in depth. Even if you have a break year, even if you are working for long years since then, you need to brush up on academics. The second thing was, this was a consistent question for me across all interviews. First thing, why UPSC? Why did you leave your first job? And second thing, why are you here now? Like, why are you not giving your second attempt? So explaining this, I had 3 strategies in mind for the second question actually. So first one was to say that I wanted to be in social service, and I can do that even while being in corporate, which was obviously not working well because it was a very made up and very oblique argument. I did try this in my Lucknow interview, but apparently they being very experienced people, they were like, no, you won't be getting any such chances in corporate. So this, just next day I had my Kozhikode interview. So Kozhikode interview, I decided to be honest. So I was like, it's not working out there. I need to go ahead in my career, and I want to be go for an MBA. So they were much more happier about it, and then they asked a very trick question, like, do you want, it seems like you are hungry for power. It's kind of obvious that if you are looking for IAS and you are looking for high-end roles, you are looking for power. So again, I was honest with it. I said that yes, I want power, I'm ambitious, I want power, having jobs having authority. But then I also added that, but I will use that power for the benefit of society, for to create impact for others. So it's all about being genuine, but at the same time be mindful. Like you should not be rude, and you should put your perspective in a positive light. So yeah, that was the second learning, that be genuine. And the third learning, again important, was during my VAT. I was kind of overconfident that I'm from a civil services background. I will write a lot more. So again, Lucknow interview, I wrote a lot of things, and there were a lot of jargons that I wrote. And when I went in for the interview, they started picking each and every jargon. Like I had written about the Benami transactions and the Benami Act, but I had read it quite long back and had forgotten about it. But apparently that person was very knowledgeable about it. Then he went deeply into Benami and all the details, which I could not answer. So it created a wrong impression that you are writing it in your VAT, but you are not able to justify it in your PI. So especially those who have jargons should be very careful while using it. That's what I learned. So yeah, this would be the key learnings that I have.